Oh.
Go ahead now.
Hey, come on in.
Hi, Robert.
Hey.
Audrey, cost savings consultant at Fastenal.
Yeah,
And this is Sam Wanazek, our regional
nice
manager.
to meet you. Yes, too.
Do you mind if we take a seat?
Yeah, grab a chair.
Thank you. And thank you for agreeing to meet with us today.
Certainly.
How's your day been?
It's been busy.
Yeah?
We're trying to keep up with production as usual, so.
Absolutely. Well, here are business cards in case you have any questions or concerns after our meeting here today.
Just one for me as well.
Thank you.
And do you have one with you as well?
I don't have them on me, no. Sorry.
Okay. That's all right. If you could just get your contact information after today's meeting, that would be great.
Sure.
Awesome. Well, when we were meeting with Mike last week, he let me know that you were on a week-long vacation in Florida.
I was, kind of a work sort of / vacation.
So exciting.
Yeah. What was your favorite part?
The fishing. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure you're happy to be back here in this blizzard. I'm sure it really missed you.
Yeah, I'm not a hater of the snow either. I like the snow too. You guys like the snow at all?
I like snow. Yeah, definitely.
Skiing?
Yeah, I like to snowboard.
Snowboard.
So, yeah. But I know we talked about keeping this meeting at 15 minutes.
Yep.
Does that still hold?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, well, in order to respect your time, we took the liberty of setting an agenda. So first, we'd just like to summarize our last meeting we had with Mike.
Do you mind if I take some notes?
Oh, yeah, of course. And do you mind if we do
Yeah,
as
go
well?
ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. And so we just want to summarize that last meeting we had. Second, learn a little bit more about you and your plant manager role and any challenges you may specifically be facing. And lastly, determine whether a solution of Fastenal and Ski Master would be a good bet.
Sure.
Is there anything else that you might want to add to it?
No, I think that covers it pretty good.
Okay, great. And if it does go well today, what is the decision-making process going forward?
Well, I'm the plant manager, so everything that happens, I sign off on too.
Okay.
Of course, Mike, he's the operations manager. He's in charge of a lot of the stuff that you guys sell,
Sure.
a lot of the products that you're presenting. So if it's all right with Mike, it's probably gonna be okay with me.
Yeah, well, you'll be happy to know that Mike did give you that recommendation, so it's great that we're sitting down with you here today. And just out of curiosity, what do you know about Fastenal?
Well, I know that you guys come in, fill nuts and bolts. You know, we got some POs here for you for some different categories of stuff, safety supplies, some janitorial stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, Fastenal is actually the world's largest industrial supplier. So with that, we offer companies like yourself really honing in on unlocking vending supply areas. So that leads to an increase in cost savings, convenience, and efficiency. Does that give you a better idea?
Yep, sure does.
Great. Well, just to recap that last meeting we had with Mike, he told us a little bit more about his operations role and some goals that you had. So reducing some POs, inventory levels, and vendors. And he also told us about the challenges. So looks like you were running into some areas of reducing those supplies, and your employees were taking some of those supplies home, which was resulting in some losses.
Yeah, I mean, my role is the P&L, profit and loss. We're trying to make money as a company, and I got to kind of watch those expenses, but I also have to keep the production running. And
Definitely.
You know, where Mike's more on the operations side, and his job is just really to keep the production running. So some of his goals are my goals, but not necessarily vice versa. You know, around Christmas time, we tend to lose a lot of batteries.
Okay.
You know, kids' presents and all that.
Right.
All of a sudden, the batteries are messing, stuff like that. Not too terrible a loss. You know, there's some other stuff that kind of disappears. Safety glasses, gloves, stuff like that. You know, that's probably getting abused, but not too bad. My main thing is to make sure that we have what we need when we need it. But at the same time, also, we need to reduce some of that inventory. We can't have the hordes of stuff that we have going on right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm just going to pass this on to Sam so he can dive a little bit deeper into those areas that you had just brought up.
Sure.
Thanks, Audrey. Yeah, I wanted to thank you again for sitting down and meeting with us. Hopefully we can have enough time at the end of today to be able to see some of the pictures from your fishing trip.
Certainly.
Love to see a little bit of that. But I want to start off by learning a little bit more about your role. You had just gave a brief summary, but what exactly all entails with your role as plant manager?
So I'm in charge of everything, right?
Okay.
My direct reports are plant manager, AR, inventory receiving, sales department. Everybody kind of reports to me. So I'm in charge of the whole plant in its entirety.
Wow.
You know, my main focus is to make sure that everybody's running and the staff and that we're producing as the highest level as possible.
So really sound like a very busy person then around these times.
A lot of hats.
I can imagine. And you had mentioned that your main priority is just keeping everything running and making sure it's all up to date. So how does that correlate with your goals and more specifics behind what you're doing to make sure that all happens?
Well, I leave that, I leave that to the department head. So, if it has to do with operations, it's Mike. If it has to do with, accounting, it's Jerry. It depends on whatever department it is. But they'll report to me, and then any issues from there, we'll kind of solve it from there.
Okay. You had mentioned one of your main goals was to reduce the inventory.
Yes.
And can you talk a little bit more into that of what problems that's been causing of the current inventory that you have right now and overstocking?
Well, I can a little bit. I mean, we're probably a little heavy on inventory for sure. But at the same time, we also ran out of a part that cost us 4 hours production on the third shift. So,
4 hours?
4 hours of production on the third shift. Yeah, a lot of times when we run out of parts, we'll send somebody to the hardware store or whatever, and get it, or we'll run over to Fastenal or whatever, and we'll get the part and get it rolling again. But it happened to happen on third shift, and there was a critical component, and we couldn't recover, so we lost about 4 hours production chasing those parts.
How often does something like that happen where you notice that downtime due to a missing part?
Mistakes happen. I can't say that it happens a lot. That was probably one of the larger hits that we've taken recently. They go down line down a half hour, maybe happens weekly.
Okay.
As a run to get a part or something, but.
And with that 4 hours specifically, how much did that cost production in terms of dollars?
Well, we had about 25 employees
that
weren't able to work, and I think they're if you take in consideration insurance and stuff like that, they probably cost around $30 an hour per employee.
$30 an hour per employee. That adds up, especially with 4 hours of downtime in production.
For sure, it was a costly mistake.
So being able to eliminate those instances where you may run short on a product and you can always be fully stocked and ready, so you can eliminate that downtime in production, would be something you'd see value in them.
Yeah, I would. I know Fastenal, and I've seen your invoices, and I know you're a little more expensive than everybody else. So, I really got to take into consideration the cost of your product as well too. So I can't just say, hey, let's stock it up here and roll. I mean, I know that I have to be price conscious. I also have to, try to reduce my inventories.
Yeah.
And at the same time, make sure we're not running out of anything. So.
Exactly. You had mentioned that was your main responsibility, and I understand the concern. And I'd love to learn a little bit more about your production and dive into how Fastenal can actually help save you some money instead of being a little pricier like you may interpret.
Yeah.
So for starters, how important, or what's the most important thing in terms to you of your production floor and how it's managed?
Well, just making sure those employees are in their spots and working.
Okay. And then do you have like a square footage of size of your production floor?
Yeah, we're running probably about 40,000 feet.
It's a rather large production floor, what you said.
Right, it's a big facility.
And how do you divide that all up?
As far as
sectioning and what's used for what? Like, how many different sections would you say there are in your production floor and how you operate?
Well, it depends, because sometimes we're not running certain lines, sometimes it's certain lines are running, and some of it's cell-based, so I don't know if I can really answer that with an honest answer. It varies.
Okay, so there is different sections of the production floor that's obviously used for different parts, correct?
Oh, correct.
Okay. And what are the main challenges that you've been noticing on the production floor then and how it's running? You had mentioned a few things, but I want to know the main priority and challenge to you.
Well, I mean, getting parts to the employees when they need them.
Okay.
That's a challenge. I guess that's really
okay. So just making sure to keep that efficiency up on the plant floor.
Right.
Well, I'd love to tell you a little bit more about Fastenal and some of the services we offer, and one that could specifically help you in your plant floor out. Is that okay with you? So I'd love to tell you about our Fast Solutions vending. So these kind of operate as on-plant vending machines for the supplies that you have in your production floor. And there's three main benefits, and the first one is the cost savings. I really want to dive in on this one because I feel like one of your main concerns you had mentioned was making sure that you're price conscious and that you're saving money and reducing the overhead. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So for starters, there's going to be no managing of any of this. Fastenal will be in and making sure that we are having all of this in for you and doing all of that. So all costs that relate to managing your supplies will all be taken care of by us. Along with that, the average product use reduction of 30%. So do you have any idea how much you're currently spending on product use or supply use?
On MRO type products that would go in these machines.
Correct.
That stuff is expensed out when it comes in. It's not inventoried like our OEM stuff is, but I would say we probably are using, I don't know, $10,000 to $20,000 a month in MRO supplies.
So if you could get $3,000 or more back a month, what would you be able to do with that?
Well, of course, I can drive that into more production.
So a little bit more beneficial value, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, for sure.
And then along with that, this whole system would be tracking what's being used and when it's being used and how often it's being used, which would overall help with all budgeting expenses, so you don't have that kind of unclear, hazy area where you're really wondering what you need when. So that could overall help you to budget more effectively down the line. And next up is convenient. You have 24/7 access to this, and along with that, it's all maintained by Fastenal. So any workers that you have going to stores, like you had mentioned, leaving production to go to the convenience store and grab some products, that would all be eliminated because Fastenal would be coming in and making sure these machines are stocked and ready for you at production. You see that benefit in keeping your people on the floor working?
Yeah, but I don't know if I can afford a vending machine. That's pretty expensive.
It's actually, I'd love to dive in a little bit more on price, but as you had said, we could get you back $3,000+ a month in total with the cost savings that you would notice from these machines in. Does that clarify some of the concern on price potentially?
Yeah, I was concerned about the cost of the machine itself.
Yeah, and with the cost of the machine jumping back up to that, it is just a $40 software cost per machine. And along with that, it's the supplies inside. But you are not paying for the actual machine. You are just paying the $40 software fee per machine.
So why would I have to pay a $4 software fee?
It's just so that you can do the tracking and make sure that you have all the software in place to be able to get this experienced software that is able to track all these things so that you can then manage it more efficiently with your supplies on the plant floor.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense, yeah.
Okay. And then the last one really comes down to efficiency. You said your main priority is making sure that keep your workers efficient. We can help use the data that you're seeing in supplies to keep everyone working and everyone on the floor. No one's going to have to leave. Everyone will be able to work, and you can track who's using what and make sure that you're not seeing any of those missing batteries or other equipment losses during the holiday seasons.
So this goes right to me, or this goes to anybody?
This is open to the people that are primarily responsible for the machine, so you will have direct access to this data.
Okay.
So do you see how something like this could be benefit on your floor?
Yeah, I think it would be beneficial. But we have to cut POs for our product coming in. Could you cut a PO?
So you actually have to do no POs with our Fastenal vending options. And I know Sam and I are really excited in all the information that you gathered with us today. So based on what you gave us, you're spending 4 hours of production weekly. You have 25 employees, and you have 40,000 feet of production right now. So with all that information, I would recommend that we get you started with about 7 vending machines.
Wow, that seems like a lot.
Just to clarify, you do see the value in our fast solutions. However, you're just a little concerned with the number I gave you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I know a lot of our customers kind of felt that way at first. For example, this is Doug Johnson. So we actually implemented 32 vending machines with him in August of 2019. And he was facing those same challenges as you, running into those production issues, going out and finding those supplies. But based on those 32 vending machines, we were able to cut his savings over 30%. And he drastically saw the benefit of it. So I know we're not going to recommend that 32, but I definitely think 7 would be a great option for you. Does that address your concern?
So can you come in and document oops, I just broke my pen. Can you come in and document that 30% to us?
Yeah,
we can do that
we can absolutely do that.
I mean, keep up to date if you have any other needs, but I feel like a 7 would be a great start.
Yeah.
How about let's try 1 to start?
Could we come in at let's say 4, and if you like it, we can either drop it down or drop it back up, but definitely starting at least 4 would be a great.
I can try 4.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
Well, let's get you started today. So with your authorization, we can do about 4 vending machines. All right, thank you
so
so much.
much.
We're super excited about
Alright,
this.
thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys
It
coming.
was great to meet you.
Nice job. Plenty of time left. Okay, I'll shut this.